The Jeep Wrangler is an icon that keeps living on. Continual updates have made it more and more civilized over the years. We bought this one to test to find out how well it does in the daily grind. First, the good news. Jeep sells a lot of Wranglers, and a big reason for that has to be the styling. Nothing else looks like this. You can get your Wrangler a lot of different ways. You can get a 2-door, or you can get a 4-door Unlimited like the one that we have here. You want a 4-door convertible? Well, this is basically the only game in town. You can fold back the soft top, you can even take the doors off, or you can get a hard top. Dealing with all these various tops is fussy and time consuming. However, if you want just some quick open air fun, with the hardtop you can just pop off the front 2 panels. Wranglers are well known for their off-road capability. They have excellent ground clearance and axle articulation. However, traction on our rock hill with our tested Sahara model was only so-so. You can get a top-of-the-line Rubicon model with more off-road equipment. Or many owners extensively modify their Wranglers, far from what came from the factory. The Wrangler finally gets a modern engine, a 3.6-liter V6. It's a big improvement, provides good power and better fuel economy. And now the bad news. Most people, when they buy their Wrangler, they envision that they're going to be driving off-road all the time. But Wranglers spend most of their time on the road. And really, the Wrangler's lousy to drive. The biggest problem is the steering. It's vague and slow. Not much happens when you turn the wheel. You also get quite a bit of body roll in the corners. Standard stability control ultimately keeps the Wrangler secure. The problem is handling limits are very low. The Wrangler does not feel confident in emergency situations. It doesn't help that stopping distances are long on either wet or dry pavement. It probably doesn't come as a surprise that the Wrangler is not the most comfortable highway cruiser. The ride is constantly busy, it's jiggly, there's lots of little bounces that come through. What is surprising is that road noise is actually well isolated, but that's pretty much masked by the wind noise, which gets really bad at speeds over 40 miles an hour. After all, you're basically pushing a brick through the air. Despite the upright styling, driver visibility has got some problems. Some of the roof pillars are pretty thick. The view out of the back window, well, it's partly blocked by the spare tire, the center brake light, the wiper motor. All these things get in the way when you're trying to see what's behind you. Inside, this is the nicest Wrangler ever. You can get heated seats, power mirrors, automatic climate control. These are features that are common in everyday cars, but they're downright decadent in a Wrangler. There's also some neat touches inside, like the Jeep graphic on the windshield, these cool metal vents, and these Allen bolts on the dashboard. But keep in mind this interior is meant to get wet and partly be taken apart. You can see body color metal on the doors and on the floors around the seats. There's also a wire loom that runs into the doors. It all doesn't look quite finished. Controls are mostly simple, but they aren't all where you'd expect them to be, especially these power window switches on the middle of the dashboard. The front seats aren't all that comfortable. They're flat and the cushioning gives uneven support. It's not easy getting in and out of the Jeep. It's quite a climb up, even with the running boards, and the doors, they're pretty small. Once you're in the back, you'll find there's enough room for adults, but the seat is pretty small. It's not that comfortable. This might be the best Wrangler yet. The problem is, that's not really enough. Sure, it still has the cool image and off-road cred, but there's a whole bunch of limitations that make this a really crummy daily driver. And at over $36,000 for our Wrangler, it's no cheap weekend toy.